Cool. How are you?
Really good. I just finished training and back
Good.
home, had lunch, and now a little bit of free
Really
time before the
tired.
second session.
Cool. You
Yeah,
do
no,
normally two sessions.
yeah, depending on the part of the season, but now since the games, I was usually training 2 times. Before the games, there was times when I was doing 3 sessions a day,
Mm.
because before the games, we needed like a lot bigger volume than usual.
Yeah, ramp up the
But
intensity and the volume for sure.
yes, and then so at the moment I'm doing 2 sessions a day.
Cool. And are you following the Misfits Athletics?
Yes, since the games I changed the coach, and I'm doing the Misfit Athletics since the game, since the August.
Okay. What you were doing before?
Before I had coach from Germany. It was
Okay.
called the Forge Concept. I was doing that for 3 years.
Okay. And your brother and you do follow the same? Do you train together as well?
No.
No.
He's following. He's following Mayhem. Mayhem athlete.
Okay.
Also, since the CrossFit Games, he changed the coach after the games, and now he's following Mayhem. We are usually training like at the same time when we are both home, but we are not doing the same thing because
Okay.
we are such a different athletes, and
Yeah.
sometimes it gets too competitive, and we can't focus on the weekends that we have. So
Yeah.
because of that, we usually like try to train at the same time, but not doing the same thing.
Yeah. And you guys train alone, or you don't have a partner that you can train with?
We both prefer to train alone, and
Really?
I also like when there's a big group, like if I'm doing something with friends, or if there's a bunch of people around, then everybody's talking, you can't focus that much, and usually you have a lot to do during the day, and then those like 15, 20, 30 minutes that you get lost in the session because of like talking and stuff like that. At the end of the day, maybe like when we are like in the serious training, I try to train as much as alone as I can to save some time that later I can spend for like stretching or mobility or something like that.
So how do you benchmark yourself when, obviously weightlifting is a little bit easier because you know your marks, but how do you benchmark yourself when you're doing a workout? And you don't have, it's difficult for you. Have you done it properly? Could you do more or less? You don't have anything to.
For me, I'm doing that since I started CrossFit. Basically, I started CrossFit alone. I started it to lose some weight because I was just coming out from injury in football. So I started CrossFit just to lose some weight so that I can train football again. And then I started it alone, and since then, basically, I know my body pretty well. And usually the stuff that I do alone is the stuff that I am really good at. So for example, just conditioning or pure CrossFit workouts, that's the stuff that I'm really good at. So I know that if I push myself really hard, I know that I did good job, probably. And usually CrossFit Open, quarterfinals, online semifinals, I did everything alone. Like with no, even if we were allowed to have the other people around, I prefer to do it alone, so that I can focus. I usually know what I need to do. I make like plans before attacking every workout. So even in the training, I try to keep the same stuff, like same surrounding as I prefer to do the Open and the quarterfinals. But when competition is getting really close, then I will do the workouts with or against someone.
Yeah. Are you guys planning to do some kind of camp, like Misfits camp, that you go with a few athletes and then you train together?
I will probably go before the semifinals to United States and stay there for maybe 2 or 3 weeks and do some good training there. But yeah, probably it will be like that. Before the semifinals.
Semifinals you will do them in your gym.
At semifinals this year, they are supposed to be
true.
live. Last year they were online because of like COVID regulations in Germany and Netherlands. But as we know, for now, we hope that there are going to be live competitions.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's live, and it might be some regulations again, and only the athletes can go. Netherlands and Germany are pretty tough with this. We are pretty good here. We don't have any regulation here.
Yes, in Serbia also we are like, it's pretty open at the moment, even though it's December and now there are holidays and everything. It's pretty open at the moment, but who knows? Because regulations can change so fast. Like last year,
from one day to another.
Yes, everything was changing like week to week, so they couldn't plan. So yeah, I hope that some semifinals are going to be live competitions, but you never know in these times, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, I hope, I mean, it's difficult to say that. Pretty sure that will be online, but I mean, it will be a bit too much. But I think we had a lot of too many things already during these 2 years. So yeah, let's see. I know Netherlands is closed down. They have total lockdown until the 14th of January, but I'm pretty sure they did it because of Christmas, and governments have to do something to scare people, something like this.
Yes.
So by semifinals are going to be in June, May, June.
Yeah, that in June are probably going to be ours.
Well, hopefully there is no a new variant or a new case or whatever it is.
Yes, and they are still didn't announce if it's going to stay like the same semifinals that were last year. So maybe there's still chance that maybe semifinals can happen, for example, in Spain or in France or some other country, because I think that they are waiting to see what are going to be regulations for every country, and then they will announce, because there is so many competitions that are waiting to see if they got a chance to be the semifinal event. So maybe we will see a change this year as well.
Yeah. So far, I know that it's a German throwdown and the lowland throwdowns that are staying as semifinals. But as you say, if they close down those countries, they might have like a second option to say, let's just put everybody here. And I'm pretty sure Spain could be a perfect location because regulations are really low. We haven't really been closed down in since March. April, March of 2020, whenever the first outbreak. So later on, and Europe was closed down for months. We never closed down anything. So yeah. Now, how is it in Serbia? Is everything fine, right? Like you guys don't have
everything is everything is fine at the moment. I think that vaccination is going pretty well. I don't know, like compared to the other countries, but when I see the regulations, it's pretty fine. Like everything is pretty normal.
Okay.
Like there is still like masks and stuff like that, but there's no any crazy lockdowns or the stuff that happened during the first outbreak in 2020. So we are like that for almost a year now. Now everything is fine for almost a year. So I hope it stays the same.
Okay, cool. But maybe we should have done that at the beginning. But probably it's cool that you introduce yourself. For some people, maybe people don't know who you are, even though we're going to put it. But I think it's cool if you make a short introduction of who you are.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Luka Djukic, for everyone that doesn't know me. I competed at the CrossFit Games 2021, placed 29th. I also placed third on European semifinals. That's how I qualified for the CrossFit Games. I'm doing CrossFit for almost 6 years now. And this year I also won German Throwdown, and I was competing at Dubai CrossFit Championship and placed 9th.
Cool. Was the first time you qualified for the games?
Yes, this was actually my first time qualifying for the semifinals or regionals that were before. And this was also my first year qualifying for the CrossFit Games.
How many times have you been trying to qualify for semifinals, regionals?
Yes, so actually, when I started CrossFit, it was year 2000, like beginning of 2016. So my first few years were not that, not that serious, because I was so new to the sport. I was so new to everything that included gymnastics and barbell, because I came from football, and that's like such a big difference than what CrossFit is. So those first few years, I was just learning the movements, getting like into the groove of things. Still, I didn't understand how to train properly and stuff like that. So I can say that my first try to qualify for the regionals was this year, because 2020 and 2009, actually 2020, that was like the year when they announced that who qualifies for the who is the winner of the country in the Open.
Yeah.
That's the athlete that is going to the games. So that year there were sanctional events, but I was competing at the sanctional events also in 2019. So like this type of regionals or semifinals, how we call it now, this was the first year that I actually got the chance to qualify for it, because the format was changing basically every year that I was competing. So yeah, but I can say that my like in 2019 I tried to qualify for the games through the semifinals, but that was also the year. Then it was like 2019 was the national champions, and then 2020 was only 5, or actually the first stage of the games were online, and then it was only 5 people. So I can say that this was the first year that I went like all in to try to qualify for the CrossFit Games, and I was happy that I made it.
It went pretty well. I think not many people can say that training 1 or 2 years. Obviously, everybody has this kind of 1 or 2 years of getting into the sport, maybe going out and not taking it serious at the end. It's not like playing football or training football that you train a couple of hours every day and you do some tricks, and you need to train 4 to 6 hours probably every day.
Exactly.
2 sessions.
Yes. And it's so also you have to focus on everything around the gym. It's not only what you do in the gym. It's also about the nutrition. It's about your recovery. It's about like so many things that go into like your fitness level. So it's pretty hard, and you have to focus on like basically your all day is CrossFit, and you don't have time for much else.
Your entire life is spinning around this sport that you have to be so proficiency in pretty much everything. So you need to recover faster, because then the next day you have to squat again. And you need to improve your mobility, because if you don't improve your mobility, you can get stronger, but you are not progressing as you need. And at the moment, it's such a competitive sport. In 2012, you were doing a couple of watts per day and a little bit of weightlifting, and you could go to the games if you were good enough, which was pretty much everybody was doing.
We were just talking like before, everybody was saying consistency is the key. When you go to the games, originals, everybody's saying consistency is the key. I think now you have to be good at everything. There's no more like consistency. You can't be like 10th place and everything and expect to go to the games. Now you have to be like top 5 in everything if you want to qualify for the games, or you have to place good at those big competitions, because a level of sport is growing every day, and more people are doing CrossFit as a full-time job basically now. The sport is evolving a lot, and especially that competitive part.
For sure. We did we train you. I think you have competed against him, but I train once in a while with Aniol Ekai. So we did, I think it was last year. I'm pretty sure it was last year. We did the regionals events. We did like a full weekend, like if we were at regionals. So we met 20, 25, maybe not that many, maybe 16, 20 people. The same bench, the same order, everything. And we benchmarked that with the actual results. And, Aniel was by far above the first one in everything. But even regular people, like the people that we train together, that we have like a normal level, we didn't win, but we were pretty high up. And I remember back in the days, regionals were, those people super strong, and now the difference has changed so much that level is not even enough. Like the people who won, they probably couldn't even qualify at the moment with those numbers.
Obviously. It's like so crazy. Lifting numbers went up, conditioning numbers went up. Everything went up so fast. So I remember, like, for example, in 2016 in Europe, if you were, for example, snatching 120, you were like, that was really good number. If you went to the regionals in 2015, 2016, you snatch 120, you will probably be, let's say, top 15, top 10. Like we wouldn't be the strongest, but it would be enough maybe to place in top 10. Now, if you go to that level and you snatch 120, you're probably going to be last, because level is so much evolving. Everybody's getting stronger. Lifting numbers are going up. Conditioning numbers are going up. For example, 5K row or 5K run. So like sport is evolving like crazy.
Yeah, not even like in 2000. So the regionals that we did was 2014. Those regionals, the guy that attempted the highest lift was Lucas Heslinger, hang snatch. He failed 120. I think he did 110, 115, but he was way above everybody else. I think everybody was around the 100 kilos, 100 kilos.
105, yeah, like that.
Exactly.
Like that.
And that was what, like 6-7 years ago, and now everybody's snatching 100 kilos.
Yes, now you go to the gym and like regular members are snatching more than 100.
Yeah. Well, you have pretty strong regular members in Serbia then.
But like few people, it's not, they're not competitive, but you can find a few people in the gym that can snatch 100, and before it was a competitive number.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's incredible how the sport changes and evolves. We've been part of the CrossFit community since 2010, more or less, going to different to the games, regionals, and these kind of things. So we've seen how the gyms are changing, how the athletes are changing, and it's obviously being more professional, which is pretty cool, because I think especially for athletes, you guys need to have, I mean, if you spend 4 to 6 hours per day training, it can't be a hobby anymore. It
exactly.
Something professional. So yeah, that's something that we like to see, how everything changes. So how is the how do you see the season for 2022 season? Do you think? I guess you guys are looking what are the rivals and who can go and.
Yes, for sure. Like this season 2021, I think that I was really unknown. Like there was not big competitions that I participated before. I wasn't competing at Dubai. I wasn't competing. I never qualified for regionals before. So when I started the season, nobody knew me, and I know that like I wanted that told myself that I want this year to be like a breakout year for me. So to break it through at least the regionals, to break through the big competitions. And I basically did that, and I was really happy to qualify for the games. It's basically my breakout year, as I call it. And now I think that now I know that I'm one of the not the favorites, but when you qualify for the games, you expect that next year you will be also fighting for your qualifying spot for sure. And I think that in Europe, scene is getting stronger, like the whole CrossFit scene. And it was Dubai was really good test, because it was a lot of, basically it was like a Europe super regional, because we had like two regionals combined together. There was guys that were in top 10 in our regionals, like from basically 6 guys that qualified from my regionals, my semifinals. From 6 guys, 5 was at Dubai, and there was 4 from the other one. So we had basically like 9 to 10 games athletes from Europe, and Dubai was a really good test. And I think that the athletes that we saw in Dubai competing for the like top 10 spots, I think that the same athletes will be competing for the game spot next year. And I think that we know each other now pretty good. During this year, we got to know each other. Like there was a few rookies from the Europe, Andre Hudet, Uldis, Sam Stewart, myself, Lazar, Yorgos, Fabian was there. He was, I think, 6th or 7th place. Alex Kotulas, Yone Koski,
Roman Kronikov, which I don't know if he will ever make it to the games. I mean,
but he's in the Asia He's in the
Oh, it's
Asia
in the
semifinals.
Asia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. So they put Russia in the Asia
True. That's true.
semifinals. Yeah, that was good actually. Like
Yeah.
I was happy because of that, because then we will be super strong regionally if we even
Yeah.
had like
Yeah,
Roman
he's
and those guys.
in really good shape in Madrid. Did he win Madrid as well? Madrid championship.
Yes, yes, he did.
He
He did.
won, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yes.
was.
He was pretty dominant there as well.
Yeah. And in Dubai, right? Like I think he did 100
Yes,
points more than the second
yes,
one.
yes, yes. So I think that we will have pretty much the same group of athletes competing for those 10 spots in Europe. And we have a few veterans, like the guys that were competing at the games for already a few years, like Adrian Mundweiler, Jonne Koski, Björn Carl Gudmundsson. Those are the guys that are competing already for a few years at the games. And now there are a few others of us that came this year and qualify for the first time. So I think that it will be a really good battle. And this part of the season matters the most, for sure. And I think that the athletes that use this part of the season smartest and who improves the most are the guys that are going to qualify next year.
Yeah. I think it's also important to do a few competitions, and it's not the same training in your gym by yourself when you're really comfortable and you have family, friends, and whatever. And then when you go to another place, different language, different ways of explaining the words, and
and you need to
small.
Yes, you need to also know like how to behave at the competitions, what you can eat there, what your body is responding to, depending on in which country you are, because of the temperature change and humidity and everything else. So that's why I think those competitions in the off season were really good. They were really good practice for that. And now, because when Open starts, there will be no competitions until the semifinals, because there's no event organizer that will put their competition at the dates of the quarterfinals or the semifinals, because nobody will attend that, because everybody's focusing on the game season. So I think that those competitions that were in off season, like Rogue, Dubai, or Vodapalooza that is coming, I think that those competitions who compete there, they will have a lot of informations coming back home from there.
Yeah, also see how the other competitors are training as well, because
you
see a lot of things on social media, and you see this athlete cleaning 160 and you think it's pretty good, but maybe that's 160 was the only good lift in 6 months.
Yes, that's the thing about like that, the online platforms, because you see only the highlight reels, and you see only the good stuff. Nobody will post their injuries, nobody will post their missed lifts or stuff like that. So basically it's not good to compare yourself to something that someone is doing on Instagram. For example, if you see 5 guys cleaning 170, you think like, oh man, if I don't clean 170, I probably won't qualify for the games. And that's not the case, because that's maybe top 5 strongest guy in Europe, and you don't know like if they are going to do that on the competition floor, or are they going through the strength cycle, are they heavy at the moment and not focusing on gymnastics. So like basically that's why I love live competitions. That's why I love competing in the off season, to see what level am I at the moment and what I need to improve.
Are you guys having some kind of WhatsApp group or some kind of communication with athletes around Europe, like the top athletes?
Yes, we have in Misfit, we have basically a group of 5 of, let's say, our best athletes from all around the world. We have a few guys from United States. There's a guy from Iceland. I'm from Serbia. So we have like a big group, like a group of, like it's a small group, but it's a wide variety of nationalities, and we are like we are comparing the times. But for example, I would do the workout in Serbia, and then they will wake up in United States in like or it's such a big time difference. So but we try to compare the scores a lot when we have the same workouts, because we in the Misfit we are like using the remote coaching, so every athlete has his own coach, and then sometimes the programming is different because we are focusing on a different stuff. But if we have a same workout, we try to compare the times. like we have a leaderboard on the app, so we can see how the other guys did. So that's also a good comparison.
I find that more than needed for any athlete to be able to compare your training, even that you know that you're pushing yourself as much as you can. But sometimes, you do your best and then you realize, wait a minute, there's somebody doing 1 minute less. So how that
Yes.
person can do it. And then you find, well, maybe it's because the transition was different.
Yes.
Maybe
yes,
it's because, lightweight, you don't need to do the extension in this way. You can do it in some other way. And then you keep gaining some information.
That's basically that's basically why like the semifinals event, it was Gretel. It was 10 rounds of 3 clean and jerk and 3 burpees.
Mhm.
That was the final event, and basically the first the best times that we had was from Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Championship. They had that workout, and then they announced that same workout is going to be for our
Okay.
online semifinals. Yes, and then I did that workout at my home gym. When I saw their times, I didn't even know that it's going to be our workout, and my time was around like 3 minutes, and
Great.
yeah, around 3 minutes, yes, and then like 2:55. And basically, first place at the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Championship was, let's say, 2:48 or 2:45.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it was pretty close, like 10 seconds, like here and there, you can push yourself a little bit more. And then you see like somebody post the times, or you see like you figure out the way. Oh, maybe I don't need to make the contact with cleans. Maybe I can just do
exactly.
a muscle clean into push press, and I need to like. When I do the burpee, I can immediately jump to the bar and like do the clean and jerk immediately. And just that little stuff cuts you like 10 to 15 seconds. And then when I did the workout for the semifinals, I think I did 2:40. So I did almost like 20 seconds faster, just focusing on faster transitions, like trying to go immediately into muscle clean, into a push press. So I think that just if you have someone just to communicate with and just to compare, if you did same workout, how you did this, what were your transitions like, I think that's valuable.
Yeah, definitely. It's a 10% improvement on just figuring out that maybe you need to press instead of jerk.
Yes, exactly.
And then because you have a benchmark, okay, this a smarter way and faster way to do it. And then you always get these athletes that are really good at something, like at something really specific. Yes. They are really good.
And then you see like when one athlete do 2:40, then you will see another 10 guys do 2:40. Even though it was the first place, for example, in United States. And then we had in the end, Ioannikowski was first in our region. He did 2 minutes 18 seconds. That was like 30 seconds faster than what they did at the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Championship. So basically, when somebody breaks that barrier, you will see another 10 guys do it.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. And how is do you change the nutrition? Obviously, I guess that you adapt the nutrition during competition. Are you following any nutrition right now? Like any kind of coach or app or?
Yeah, I started doing M2 performance nutrition since the CrossFit Games. I have my coach Mike Oloy from the United States. So basically, I wasn't focusing that much on nutrition before because I was just training so much and I was working as a coach for the whole last year, and I didn't have that time to focus on the nutrition and to set the macros and to see how much I am eating actually. Because for the whole year, I was working as a coach for, let's say, 3 to 5 hours every day. And then I would train 3 times. So basically, I was spending the whole day in the gym. So after the games, I saw how important nutrition actually is and how much you need to focus on that part as well. Because sometimes if you're not fueling yourself, if you're not fueling yourself well, you're just doing like, you're your biggest enemy then, because you are doing so much work and your body can't recover, and you're not doing yourself a favor because you can't get strong like that. You can't, like, your body is basically in the survival mode all the time. Exactly. After the CrossFit Games, I started doing M2 performance nutrition. Our basically first goal was to focus to eat enough, because I tend to not eat enough because I was working, I didn't have time.
Yeah.
So I would just eat something quick, go back to coaching or go back to training. And also after training, after the CrossFit Games, I stopped coaching. So now I'm full-time athlete now. So now I have a lot more time to focus on basically every aspect of nutrition and training as well.
Is there any nutrition goal that now for the games you are trying to achieve, either gaining weight, losing weight, cutting fat, whatever?
Yeah, I was when we started after the games, my goal was basically to stay at the same weight. I'm weighing around 90 to 92. Like I'm fluctuating between 91 and 92 kilos all the time.
Yeah.
But
how tall are you?
I'm 181. 181 centimeters.
The taller part of
Yes, I'm one of the tallest. Wherever I go, I'm one of the tallest athletes. Yeah. And after the games, I saw that the guys that are my height, they are like 5 kilos heavier than me. All the guys that were there that were close to my height, or even just a little bit smaller, they were heavier than me. And then I started
at least 95 probably.
Yes, maybe I should gain some weight, but then you have to see if your gymnastics is going to keep with that. So now we have a goal. Maybe I want to gain like a little bit, like kilo or two, but of muscle, not of like the weight that you can't use. So I was pretty good at gymnastics the whole year. So I think that now we have like almost 6 months to semifinals. I think that my goal will be to gain some weight because just because of lifting. My gymnastics was always good, my conditioning was good, and my lifting was not that good compared to the other guys. So I think yes. So I think that now our goal will be to gain a little bit of weight going into the next season.
Yeah, normally I've seen pretty good results with which is a product that we are developing with some kind of complex amino carbohydrates, either amylopectin, cyclic dextrin. It's a new carbohydrate that is pretty trendy. It's just like you can absorb it faster. So you drink it like sugary water, but at the end, amylopectin is something that you absorb it quick. You can mix it with your shake, and it doesn't fill you up, so you can keep adding more and more. We've been testing it with 2 different gyms with 2 different groups of athletes in each group, in each club. In each box, and everybody had the same results. So they feel the energy, which could be also a little bit of placebo, because at the end you are telling some people, hey, this is carbohydrates, so you are going to feel more energy or whatever. But it's definitely they are gaining a few kilos, and that's helping to lift heavier. And I think as long as it's progressive, then as long as it's progressive and you train your gymnastics doesn't go wrong.
Yes. Yeah. That's the main thing. I think that as long as you can carry the weight that you have, it's then you are good to go. And also we try to focusing on eating more carbs, because before I was I think in overall I wasn't eating enough, but when you're training a lot, you really need those carbs. So like those shakes after the training, or like some fast carbs before the training. So I think that was also a huge goal. I think that at the moment we are at 490 grams of carbohydrates, which is a lot. And during the games prep, I didn't eat that much, and I realized that during the games prep I should be like at 550.
Yeah, probably.
Because if you're training 3 times a day and you are pushing yourself, and you have a swimming sessions, running sessions, biking sessions, and then you have to lift and everything, you're probably going to you have to eat a lot of carbohydrates. And sometimes, because the day is only 24 hours, and if you train 3 times, you don't have that much time to eat. So sometimes it just needs to be the shakes. So I think that's going to be really, really valuable.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes you need the quality food, and some other times you just need fuel to make you go through whatever you're going to train. But yeah, it's interesting as well how much is being changing the diet in CrossFit. At the beginning was a lot of paleo diet, which included very little carbs and a lot of fat and meat. And I think that was obviously when, people were doing a couple of watts plus weightlifting per day as training. So that was okay. You could be paleo when you were doing that. Now you need to do an aerobic session. Probably you do one almost every day. Then you do a strength and weightlifting session, which will take another hour at least minimum. Then
at least 2 hours for sure.
2 hours, and then you probably have another not condition session, but a 20-minute WOD.
CrossFit WOD or something else, So I think that basically all the athletes at the moment are focusing on like getting those carbohydrates in, because I think that everybody realized how much energy your body needs. So I think that not at the moment, and what I see other athletes also do is like, you will have some fast carbs before the training, like, I don't know, some fruits or like the shake with oats or something. Then during the training, you will drink the carbohydrates or something like that, or eat like a baby food or something. And then after the training, you will eat like 300 grams of rice with the, like with the meat. So that's basically what you have to do now, because we're pushing our body so much that we need that energy. Yeah,
for sure. So now that you're preparing the Open, but I guess you're focusing more on the semifinals, as the Open now are pretty mild. I guess you guys, you can qualify to the Open with one hand in your back and the other one.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
It's pretty simple. So I guess the focus is semifinals.
Yes.
What is your main? And I'm guessing you're trying, or your coach is training you the weakness and keep doing what you are good at it, which I think you mentioned that is all the conditioning. As a European, as a light athlete, normally you guys are better at the conditioning than lifting. Americans are normally the best at lifting heavy weights, right? I had a friend from US. He was competing in regionals, and he was always making fun of, Europeans start training when you guys finish, then we start warming up with your weight. He wasn't like 110 kilos guy, so definitely he was warming up with our weight. But it's true, Americans are stronger with weights.
Yes. And so basically now the Open is, you only have to be in top 10% in the Open, and that's pretty easy. Like, it sounds maybe like a little bit cocky, or I don't know, but being top 10% in Europe for the athlete that's competing for a few years or made some level, it's pretty easy. So I don't think that anyone will focus on the Open this year. Everybody will try to like have a half of the peak for the quarterfinals, and then to have like a full peak at the semifinals to push there to try to qualify for the games. And as you said, at the moment I'm focusing on the strength. Basically, like now we are just started. I had a week off after Dubai, and today I started like a new cycle of training, and we'll focus on the weaknesses for the next couple of months, lifting heavy, gaining weight a little bit, and trying to also like keep everything as it was, but to try to get stronger. As you said, like our weights, like the whole field, not only me, when we were at the games, you can see a big difference, in the strength, exactly comparing to the United States athletes. And I think that's just because like the training programs in Europe are so much different than in United States. And Lazar and myself, we were talking after the games, and that's like the main goal for us was to get closer to United States with the programming, because they are doing something correct for sure. So
what do you think is the main difference?
The main difference now, when I started, like Misfit Athletics, they are from Maine, I think town is called Portland. So they are also from United States. Lazar is now doing Mayhem Athlete. So I think that the biggest difference is how much we are now doing with the barbell, actually. Because before I was doing so much cardio, so much gymnastics. And when I see a heavy barbell in workout, I'm like, I get crushed, And now I have every day, basically. If I'm training 2 times a day, in both sessions, I will have something with the bar. Either it is heavy lifting, or it's a barbell cycling, or it's a light bar combined with something else. But there's so much more barbell work now compared to what I was doing before. And I really think that when I see the other programs, I really think that programs from United States are at the moment like I don't want to somebody to get me wrong or something, but I think that they are doing better work than programs from Europe, because they're probably they're closer to the sport. Also, like in United States, CrossFit was a lot like before it came to Europe. They started doing it. Then they're closer to the games. CrossFit is a lot more popular. There's so much more people doing programs, so they can invest in good coaches or stuff like that. So I think that's the main difference. And but you also have I think that also we have a good group of people in Europe that are developing the sport as well. But at the moment, I think that's what I think is the biggest difference. You can usually see the European athletes that are more aerobically fit and good at gymnastics. And then you are not, like, if you have a lifting event at the games, you're probably not going to see a European athlete in top 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for last few years, we didn't see any athletes, I think, when there's a max event.
That's true. I mean,
top 5.
I think the best one is normally Williamson, but he's been a weightlifter before being a CrossFitter. He was a weightlifter.
Or he was doing gymnastics or something that. But also he never made, I think, top 5 in lifting events at the games. Exactly. Usually his worst events were lifting events, and that's the trend. We have that, like, how many years ago there's no athlete from Europe that came that's like at the games and that is the strongest one. We have a few really strong guys in Europe in lifting, like at the lifting, but usually they are not at the level when they can go to the games and then win the events.
Yeah, like the Polish guy, right? He did 160 kilos. I don't think I can clean 60 kilos as easy as this guy did the clean and jerk. It was unbelievable.
Yes. Yeah, as I said, like, we have a few really good, really strong guys. Braun, he is like one of the strongest CrossFitters in the world. And we have one guy, like in Europe, Ioannis Papadopoulos. He's from Greece. He's also has crazy numbers, like 200 kilos clean and jerk. But there's no athlete still that made it to the games from Europe and was the strongest one there.
Yeah. So when you say that the North American programs have more barbell, is the weightlifting part on the strength, or do you think that also the watts that they normally program include heavier bars than?
Also the workouts. Also the workouts.
Right?
Also the work. I think that weightlifting part is pretty much like it's similar everywhere, but the actual workouts are with a lot of barbells. Like there's much more barbell cycling. I think the barbell cycling is the main part. Like, I don't know, burpees and snatches, for example, or muscle ups and overhead squats. But the weight is not going to be 60 kilos; it's going to be 85 and stuff like that.
That's what I always thought. I think back at the beginning of CrossFit, the especially because the regionals was pretty much the benchmark for everything that we could see other than the games. And then you could see the regionals, it was a barbell in pretty much every event. Now you see a lot of dumbbells, burpees, and rowing or whatever. Before was just like, fine, you can put some elements here, but there is always a barbell. And the barbell was medium to heavy at least, or really heavy. And now I think it's changing a little bit. Sometimes they just don't put that many barbells for some reason. Also because there are way more exercises to do.
But I think also that it's such a big difference from barbells or workouts at the regionals and then at the games. Because at the games, I think that, for example, if you see clean ladder at the regionals, you will probably see, let's say, last bar will be like 150 kilos or 155. If you go to the CrossFit Games, it's going to be 10 kilo heavier. Like it's going to be 160 or 165. And then it's not only going to be clean, it's going to be like running and cleans, like we had at the games this year. So you really need to be strong, because if you are not, you are losing so many points on the lifting events. So even though the sport changed a little bit, as you said, I still think that barbell is really, really important.
Yeah, it's still a heavy barbell. It is, and I hope it will always be the king for any events. Even that you add swimming and running and cycling and all these things. And I'm guessing that you guys are also putting a lot of time on swimming, probably biking.
Yes.
I'm guessing bike will come again into the games.
Yes,
maybe something new.
I usually try to swim, let's say, twice a week if we are preparing for the competition. If not, then it's once. It's usually like on the recovery days.
No?
It's
Thursdays.
Yeah, it's usually Thursdays and Sundays. That's usually the days when I will swim.
Yeah.
But when it was the games prep, I was swimming also on the days when I was doing the regular trainings.
Yeah. Are you doing regularly sauna, for example?
Yes, I'm doing sauna a lot. I have in the gym basically sauna. So I would try to do sauna if I'm training like 6 days or 6 or 5 days a week. I try to do sauna at least like every other day of training, and then on every recovery day I do sauna as well. So basically I would finish the session and then I will go to sauna for just one interval of 10 to 15 minutes, and then have a cold shower after that. Or at the recovery days, I will go and do like 3 intervals of 10 minutes with the cold showers between, and like big rest between. So yeah, I'm using sauna a lot, and especially I actually started using it this year, 2021, and I felt a huge benefits from it.
Yeah, I think that the sauna apparently has really good health benefits in general, not only for performance. And the combination of cold, hot water, or ice baths with sauna apparently has really good benefits, and it's been used forever in the sport industry. Yes. And I think that's really good. We set up here in the office a called, a shower, or not a shower, just like a huge tub that we can put cold water, and then the next step will be putting the sauna as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just felt like so many benefits from it. I feel like my sleep is better, my recovery tomorrow is a lot better. Like I would do 2 or 3 sessions a day. I will go to sauna at the end when I'm done with everything, and I just feel refreshed after. I finish with sauna, I do a cold shower immediately or a cold bath, and I feel like refreshed. I go to the bed, I sleep like a baby after that, and then I feel really good like tomorrow.
Yeah, that is important, to rest properly, so then the next day you're not. One is that your muscle recover properly soft tissues, but also your mind. When if you haven't been sleeping properly, you go to the gym with thinking that you are not totally rest, and then you might not hit the numbers that you wanted.
Yes,
so yeah,
exactly.
It is pretty important. Cool, but more or less we do 45 an hour every podcast. I think it was pretty cool. I think we talked before that we were going to talk a little bit about the Dubai Championship, because it's always a little bit different. We didn't do it, but we can keep this for another one.
Yes, for sure.
I think it was a good one for introducing yourself to everybody and knowing a little bit more. I will try to edit it and put the presentation before and then the rest. Because then it's just like 2 random guys talking about how things are going.
Exactly.
Yeah, but from my side, thanks a lot, Luka. It's been really nice. We've been talking a lot by email, WhatsApp, and everything. So it's always cool to have face-to-face interaction.
Thank you. Thank you very much as well.
Thanks to you, and we'll keep in contact.
Okay.
Yeah. And
let me know when the episode is going, so that I can post it on my page and let my followers know and put the link there. So I will just post now that we did the podcast, and that they can stay tuned, so that everyone knows, so that they can expect it. soon.
Definitely. Well, I'll do that probably today, tomorrow. I'll send you some info about it.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
Luka, thanks a lot. Thanks for everything.
Thank you very much. Bye.